Okay.
Just stretch my back.
Hey there, I'm Sachiko.
And I'm Moritz. And I'm Moritz. It's been the craziest of years, one of our most trying yet, but also one of our most memorable years.
As a way to reflect on the past year, as a tribute to us and also to you, those of you who have been following along on our journey, we created this look back video, but it's a story that you probably didn't expect.
So keep watching and I hope you enjoy.
Okay, let's go. How did this all begin? If I were to be honest with you, it all started when my desperation, urgency, and fear of living all crashed together. You see, I was running out of time. I was afraid I was living a life not worth examining. I'm upset right now because I'm almost disappointed in myself for being so afraid to do something unconventional. Living in a too short basement, working 50, 60-hour weeks, turning 30.
Happy birthday to you.
Feeling the weight of society's expectations on my shoulders. Feeling like I was running out of time and desperate to answer the question, why am I here? I felt stuck, chained to life by material things, capitalism, and I lacked control. There was no freedom in the way I was living. I wasn't living my dream, in any sense of the word. That's when we decided to give this van life a try. It was our last ditch effort to truly taste freedom. Everything came together at lightning speed. It's amazing how when you want something, the universe conspires to help you make it happen. From struggling to find a van, constructing and deconstructing, the pandemic, and van life potentially being put on hold. I was whipped back and forth. This project was a whisk and I was heavy cream. But I had great fun, and as failures turned to triumphs, my excitement grew and grew. From feeling hopeless to feeling hopeful. My apprehensions couldn't stop my anticipations for hitting the road. Finally, I had my ticket to freedom. Well, what I found wasn't freedom at all. Despite having tried my very best to de-romanticize van life, I was met with a whole new set of challenges. On the surface, they appeared as anxiety over where to find resources. Water, electricity, internet. No one ever taught me this stuff. No matter where we went, we still had to stay plugged into the system. The one that wore me down the most was constantly having to find places to sleep, not having a home to return to, the stigma of stealth camping. I didn't feel wanted anywhere, and my body was on high alert at all times. It shouted danger in my mind. My sense of safety was gone. I felt scared and alone. Yet we experienced so much joy along the way, traveling across the country with our home on our backs like a snail or a hermit crab. We had chances of a lifetime, spending what felt like unlimited time with friends and family and YouTube. Time that we felt we didn't have before. This was truly the best part, being able to say, no rush, we've got time, and extending our stays as we wished. We also experienced freedom in the sense of things. Having distanced ourselves from the economy of more, we spent more time reading, writing, talking to each other, growing. The hardest thing I learned was how to relax. It's really a skill that they forget to teach us in schools as we rack up sleep debt and tension in our bodies. They say time and energy are wasted on the youth. But look around. Today, youth spend all that time and energy debilitating themselves so that saying is a self-fulfilling prophecy. As the daylight hours shortened, my mental health began to waver. That lack of belonging started seeping into my own subconscious. tricking me into thinking that I didn't want myself. My self-love started to wane. Despite figuring out a schedule that was healthy for us, finding our way out of the rain into the sunny desert, connecting with communities along the way, I thought I had acclimated to this new lifestyle. Yet, I still wanted to flee. I had to decide, do I call it quits? It was a real fight or flight moment for me, and I was torn. With Omicron on my heels and uncertainty of the future looming over my vision, the easy way would be to buy a flight ticket to Toronto and surrender publicly on YouTube. You'd understand, right? But this is home, and I'm a survivor. Number 3 out of 7 with only my brother and I. So, I chose to fight. Something had to shift. At that time, I was depersonalizing, feeling out of my body, and the danger that my body was feeling while living in this van did not match my view of the world. By all measures, I should feel safe. What was it then? My body felt like it was always on the run. I felt like a renegade. Running. What the hell was I running from? It became apparent then. I was running from the system. I was rebelling against corporate America. Van life was an escape for me. Van life had to work. If it didn't provide me the freedom I wanted, then what will? And in doing so, in assigning this impossible task to van life, I set myself up for failure. It wasn't freedom of location that I was looking for. We are bound by the spheres of this planet, and that's why space travel is so enticing. What I really needed was freedom from my mind. Beginning with acceptance that the system in which I perceived was built to hinder me was actually built to help me flourish. Good and evil come hand in hand, and though the system has its shadows, it is not inherently bad. This intricate societal web we exist in, with our schedules, agriculture, ease of access to one another, I didn't need to escape from this. I just needed to find a different way to plug in. Seeing that I no longer needed to rebel, needed to run, I could turn inward and run towards myself. People think that embarking on van life is the freedom they need. What we don't realize is that changing our circumstances without changing our thoughts does not give us any freedom. So amidst all this crazy adventure, from building the van, turning our lives entirely around, learning how to be self-reliant while also giving back to the world, I found a different plane for my existence. I accepted that life as it stands is as great a life as any, regardless of systems. And van life is just one of those facets. Van life. It helped me distill my life down to survival, so I can learn how to take care of myself. It connected me deeply with Mother Earth, her resources I now more intentionally use. It gave me time and space to bring me back to myself, to work through dormant trauma, to so much growth I struggle to capture in pictures and in words. This is a life worth examining. And why am I here? Van life taught me the purpose of life is simply to live. When you're climbing, sometimes you look down and your body freaks out, wanting to return to safety. But the safest path is often upwards. So onwards we go into van life 2022! Come back.
Now I say something too.
Yeah, what did you think?
What stood out this year for me was mostly being self-reliant. It's a wonderful feeling if you know, even if things go down, you can rely on yourself, you can figure it out. And that was definitely where we grew a lot in.
Does that feeling give you a lot of freedom?
That is freedom if you don't need to worry about who you need to ask.
Yeah. Oh, I love you.
Love you too.
Well, thanks for enjoying this story with us. I hope it did you justice, did this 1 year in our lives justice, and
Well, let's see what the next year brings.
thanks. I was about to ramble. Okay, we will see you in
2022. Bye.
See you on the road to pitches. Oh, this will be 2022. Oh well,
Yeah.
see you on the road to pitches.